And the reason for that is, and I'm not going to get too much into it tonight, but you know, when retirement was put together, it wasn't really designed for us to get it. I don't know if y'all know, like when they set the retirement age at 65, y'all know what the average life expectancy of a human being was at the time? It was in the late 50s, like 57, 58. So they said the average person living 57, 58, we're going to put it to 65 to get retired. Now they're trying to move to 70. But what's happened? People are now living what? Longer. I don't know about y'all, but like people that look 60 when I was a kid and people that look 60 now is a totally different 60. Y'all know what I'm talking about? And when I was 60, they was walking like this. Now I'm in the gym, they working out. I'm like, what is happening? Like, y'all, I need to step my game up. You know what I'm saying? And so, but here's the thing. Now people are living longer. But if you live longer, what has to last longer? Your money. And so let me give you all the numbers, right? Because look, I'm not here to say y'all anything. Just really give y'all perspective, because regardless if you do what we're talking about tonight or not, the numbers I'm going to give you all and the things I'm going to share with you all, they apply to you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're a baby boomer, my parents are baby boomers, the number for you to be able to retire is $1 million. Okay? How many people think $1 million is a lot of money? Yeah, I live in Atlanta. $1 million is a lot of money for us. Okay. Not here? Okay. Good. So everybody that's saying it's not a lot of money? Okay, all right, good. Just by show of hands, how many people have $1 million? Okay, so we can agree that $1 million is what? A lot of money. All right, let's just bring everybody back to real life, because we track a little bit. Now here's what I know what people are saying, like in the grand scheme of things, earning $1 million in your lifetime is actually not that hard. Even if you worked at McDonald's, you would earn $1 million. You would become a millionaire if you worked at McDonald's your entire life. But here's what's challenging. To pay your lifestyle, your bills, and all those expenses, and save $1 million. Some people think that's pretty challenging. Okay, that's a little different story. This is going to be shocking to y'all that they think $1 million is a lot of money, all right? Now, there was a statistic that was put out recently that says 67% of Americans didn't have $1,000 put to their name. Which means that most people are. All right, it's kind of hard for everybody to get that out and kind of get stuck in there, right? We just changed the total spectrum. $1 million is not a lot. Most people are broke though. Most people are broke. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. That's what we do. We educate. Right now, if you're a millennial, the number for us to be able to retire is $2.5 million. Primarily because of this thing called inflation. Okay? How many people know what inflation is? Okay? I didn't know that much about inflation, so I'm just sharing with you all, like I said, tonight's whole conversation is things that I learned. Inflation is very simple. It's the cost of everything going up and your income staying the same. Anybody experience that? Okay? Give y'all an example. What's the lowest you all remember gas prices being? Anybody here? Even if you weren't driving, what's the lowest price you remember seeing? $2? 97 cents? Who said 97? 97, what was that? 96. All right, so let's go there. 97 cents. All right, 99 cents. All right, settle down. We got excited about gas. Hey, you remember that, man? Hey, damn. All right, settle down. All right, so let's see if I got it down. All right, so the dollar is one of the few bills that haven't changed, right? And you said that was what, 96? Right? So that was like around the Olympics. Okay? The lowest I remember being is like 77 cents, but I live in Georgia, so it's a little different. But 99 cents, right? So I'm going to show y'all what inflation is. If we take this dollar bill back to 1996, and I go to the gas station, what would I get? A gallon. Right? Now, that was the time of day when you didn't even ask people for gas money. Y'all remember that? Your friends were out with you, like, oh, no, you're good. Now, let somebody do that today. You're like, hey, you lock the door. Excuse me. This ain't Uber. You pay, right? But now check it. This is what inflation is. Same dollar, 96, I get a gallon. Now I take the same dollar to the gas station today. What do I get? It would probably cough, right? It would like, and that's it. Right? It wouldn't even do anything. But we're laughing. But what I'm trying to show you all by the example is what's happened to the dollar. Does that make sense? So if I made $60,000 in 96, and I'm making $60,000 today, does that same $60,000 buy the same things? All right, so here's one of the things when it comes to investing, I want you to right now. You gotta put your money in something that's growing higher than the rate of inflation. Because if your money's not beating what's happening to the dollar, you're losing. Now we're just talking about gas. What about groceries? What about daycare? What about healthcare? I know people now that they have kids, they don't work because it costs more money to send their kids to daycare than they make it their job. So one of the things that we teach people how to invest is that you got to put in something that's growing faster than what's happening to this. Because if you're not, what are you doing? You're losing. Now, the other thing is this, is really understanding, and I always tell people this time, anybody here got a job? Okay, we do? Now, be proud of jobs. I don't know what's happening in the world, but be proud of jobs, you know? Jobs are a really good thing. In fact, many of you ought to have a job. You're going to be more excited about your job here today because you're going to learn how to leverage the money that you're making at your job to be able to make more money. You know, entrepreneurship is a great word now. You know, I wish it was more exciting when I was younger. Because when I was younger, when you said entrepreneur, that meant unemployed. Anybody remember those days? Mm-hmm. You know, he's an entrepreneur, right? It wasn't this wild label now. It was like he's unemployed, he's figuring it out. But a job is a really, really good thing. Here's one of the two things I recommend to people, right? If you have a job, is you've got to find out if you've got a 401k.